Hi, Palmina here from Mystical Touch.
And Julia from Adiabella Rises.
Thank you for joining us for our weekly chat. So today we decided we haven't really put a lot of thought into what we're talking about today, but what Adiabella and I have both noticed, and it's a little bit of a follow through on last week's vid where we were talking about protecting and shielding and all that sort of stuff because of the energies and people and all that sort of stuff. But also this week we've noticed over this last week that there's been a lot of angst, would that be the word, like anxiety type thing that we all have at different levels, but we've noticed that there's been a lot of anxiety when it comes to your life path, life purpose, trying to work out what you want to do, where you want to be, not necessarily in just work, for instance, but just life in general, where you feel you fit in. That's probably more of it, do you think?
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, where we feel we fit in life, and now, where we feel we fit in now, because Adiabella and I were both talking where, you know, I don't know, I mean, I even did a post on my vid earlier this week on my business page about this type of thing, and it's just followed through even with Adiabella, and I don't know, I'm going to pass it over to her because I get really angst with it. I get really shitty, as you know. I'm a real big swearer, and I was like, for God's sake, you know, people. Adiabella's a lot gentler with how she approaches things, so I'm going to sort of pass it over to her and she can continue off where I've finished, where I've just stopped there.
So I think it's about one big thing, especially if you're on your spiritual journey, is to really not get too focused on the end result. You know, even for both of us, you know, 3 months ago we wouldn't have thought we had a YouTube channel, you know what I mean? I know that my path further down the track is going to be on a much global scale, but every day I'm not thinking, oh my God, I have to get there, whatever else. So it's about taking that big step, not necessarily back, but just pulling back those reins and going, right, yes, that's my big goal. That's sort of, don't get me wrong, you can keep it in the back of your head, but just take a step back and go, okay, what really interests me? It might be learning tarot, it might be trying to do medium readings, it might be using your intuition with people, it might be working with animals, it could be anything, but just take small little steps to see what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, what you don't good at. What you don't good at?
We just created a whole new word.
What was I? What you're not good at? Sorry. Obviously, you all need to laugh today.
Yeah, that's it.
But just, you know, and these people that have their shit together, and yeah, I'm going to swear, they didn't start that way. You know, this time last year, I was in a spiritual development group, which I'm still in, which I love dearly, but I wouldn't post. I wouldn't offer a card reading where I even just read from Doreen Virtue's little handbook. I wouldn't do any of that. And now...
Let alone post your own vid.
Exactly. Or even say, you know, I'm an angel. I wouldn't do any of that. So for people that have sort of... And I'm just using me as an example. I'm not saying that I'm a role model or anything like that, but people coming in to see me now into the group, Palmina came in sort of halfway through, so she was already seeing a change in me. But before, I was this meek little mouse that wouldn't say or try anything, and it's because of confidence. You need to start doing those small little things to get you to where you want to go. To build your confidence. It's not necessarily because you're going to be a medium reader. It's not necessarily because you're going to be known as a card reader. It's just building that confidence and that connection with spirit or your guides or whoever you use to do all of that, to start boosting you along your path. Your end result, you might be this big, fabulous, the next Oprah, but you don't need to jump a big mountain to get there right now. It's about taking those small little steps and enjoying the journey. It's not about the end result. It's not about making money. It's not about anything. It's about enjoying the journey, because you know what? If you decide to jump ahead, or even if you go too slow, they'll make you stop, whether it be that you get sick, whether it be that you're just not getting the connections anymore. It could be anything, but they'll make you pull back the reins if they're going, you know what, you're not meant to be doing that just yet.
Yeah.
But hang on, you should be actually doing this. You know what I mean? You'll start just getting that repetitive, kind of like my fairy course that I haven't.
Oh my God, this one is her friggin' fairy goddamn ology, whatever it's called.
I want to be a fairyologist.
Oh my gosh, she's like, I want to do this course. I'm like, for God's sake, woman, like one thing at a time, which comes back to what we're talking about. You know, the fairy course is going to be there for the next 20 years or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And there'll be so many other courses that come out, and we can all do things. You know, you want to jump on board and sign up to do all this stuff and go join a gym and then do an outside park fitness thing at the same time. And, you know, you can't, it's too much. Some things just you need to really look at it and go, am I feeling like this because I'm doing it because, oh my God, I've got to do this, or oh my God, I've got to do that. Or you're going, okay, this is what I want to do, and coming back to your center and being balanced in the decisions that you're making. And that's how you need to be feeling. And is also another way, I suppose, in knowing whether you're in alignment and making the right decisions. Yeah. Because when we're in balance and when we're in tune with ourselves and when we're, you know, in that meditative state or whatever it is, then we can breathe and go, okay, right, I want to do all these 5 million things, but really, what do I need to be doing right now? Let me pick out of all these and go, you know what I'm really enjoying at the moment or being pulled to is, I'll talk about myself, tarot cards. You know, I've been around them since I was freaking 12, you know, that sort of thing. And I'd come and go from them and whatever and that sort of stuff. But, you know, that's the one thing that I'm really passionate about is tarot cards. Yes, I love all oracle cards and stuff like that. Do I want to be a medium? No, not really. You know, that sort of thing. But just because I'm in a group where there are mediums and there's, you know, psychics that don't use cards to do readings and this and that, doesn't mean I have to do all that stuff. Do I have the ability to do them? Probably, yeah, absolutely. Numerology, you name it, I can do all those things. Do I want to do all those things? Not really. Just because other people are doing it, I don't want to be everybody else. I want to be me. As I was saying to Adia Bella earlier today, it's hard enough being me, let alone worry about being friggin' everybody else. Do you know what I mean? So coming back to just people trying to find their paths, as we were saying earlier, whether it be on a spiritual journey, whether it be, you know, doing tarot cards, whether it be angel healings, whether it be mediumship, whether it be, you know, dog sitting, for instance, which is another thing I do, you know, babysitting or taking care of your kids is a path on its own if you've got children or want to have children. You know, anything like that, you just need to chill back. It could be someone really hanging out to have a baby, for instance, you know, let's talk about kids for a minute. You can't be sitting there all anxious and, oh my God, you know, I want this baby today, I want this baby today. You know what? You can try as hard as you want, but they're going to put either roadblocks there or make it friggin' as hard as you can if it's not meant to happen, or it's just going to happen when it's going to happen. So, again, we're just trying to let people know that it's okay to do 50 million things, but there's a certain time and pace in your life, is that the way to say it, of when these things are going to be done or when you're going to get around to doing them. But for now, just pull it back, chill, take a deep breath and really sit with what are the, you know, 2 or 3 things or 5 things it might be. I don't know. You know, only you know what really sort of pulls at you to go, oh, I really want to learn about this. And then once you start that, just concentrate on that. And before you know it, it could be 3 months down the track, you've already gone from here. You could still be doing this, but you've sort of had branches that come out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and you sort of look back and go, oh, wow, look at where I've ended up. Because you haven't been so focused on, oh, my God, I want to do this as well. Oh, my God, they're doing that and I'm jumping over there, or, you know, that sort of thing. So as long as you pull it back and come back to what you're really passionate about or really loving at that moment or whatever you want to call it, and enjoying, let's call it enjoying what you're doing, because you need to be enjoying what you're doing. But you need to hone in and really own that and really learn it in order to be able to put it out there and do the best in what you're doing anyway, in whatever you're doing. So we're just sort of saying, pull it back.
Yeah.
Just really concentrate on how you're feeling and make sure that you're coming from a calm place and just peaceful. Like, just you need to meditate to really understand what it is. I'm going to palm it over to you because I sort of just want to say people.
So it's kind of not doing that. Like, it's not the people that are itching to do this and that. And don't get me wrong, sometimes the itching is Source saying, step it up a little bit. Like, you know, I've had it with my healing voices. I have been doing it since Christmas, and I haven't put it out to the world until last week. So for me, there was that big push of, why are you wanting more guinea pigs? Just put it out there. Like, you know, it's going to be amazing. But that was also a little bit on my part going, but do I want to be amazing?
But let me just interrupt. The difference is you've put it out there and you might have held back a little bit, but you're a master in that area.
I am a master.
You've taken the time to understand what you're doing, that sort of thing. You're not jumping going, oh my God, someone else is doing that and I'm jumping on.
No.
You know, that sort of thing. This is your thing, and you've mastered it. Like me doing tarot cards. Like, I know them inside out. I've taken the time to learn and develop and, you know, that sort of thing. I'm not saying you have to know everything to be a master. We're constantly learning. But what I'm saying is when we put it out, like yourself, you know, you held yourself back, but that's just nerves, that's just confidence, that sort of stuff. But at least when you're doing it, you're not just going, oh, yeah, I've just had a quick read and I'm jumping in there and now I'm doing this. Do you know what I mean? So, sorry, I'll just leave that back with you. But, yeah. Sorry, yeah, you were talking about putting the healing voices out. But, you know, I'll leave you to think because, like I said, we didn't plan this today. It was just a sort of a round. We're like, you know what, let's just do a vid. And normally we've got an idea of what we're going to talk about and we'll sort of look at each other and go, you know what, let's talk about this today. And then we grab the laptop and go, okay, and we start. And it sort of just flows. Today's a little bit mixed match. So as you can tell, we're sort of here and there. But it's just because our minds are running back to what we've heard and seen and felt with people, ourselves, and our own journey in how long, you know, it's taken us to get from A to B, not looking at A to friggin' Z. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know what A to Z is. You know, my thoughts bloody 6 months ago were so different to, you know, 2 months into that 6 months. It changed again. Do you know what I mean? It's constantly changing. And that's the evolving that I was talking about, where if you stay on, if you stay on that one path and allow yourself to learn and engage in that area, things start opening up if that's what the universe wants for you. So allow, exactly like what Ariabella just said then, allow them to bring in what that path needs to be for you, instead of reaching out too much. And when we're not in that balanced state, we're all over the place, like in any day life, you know, we can get rattled or whatever for whatever situation. But yeah, if you can try and come back to that, because if you are feeling that anxious type feeling, it's not right. We all know that it's not right. So we want to come back and go, okay, hang on a minute, let's just take a deep breath and come back to the basics of what we've been doing. So again, you know, whether that be bloody skipping down the street, if that's what we do every day, I don't friggin' know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about, I mean, obviously we're talking more spiritual stuff because that's what we do, and they're the groups that we're in and that sort of stuff, and that's, you know, the feedback we're getting from people, so thank you for your feedback there. So that's why we're talking about randomly bits and pieces here and there.
To give an example, even out of spiritual context, so it's been about a year now, but for a year solid, I was doing outdoor boot camps, which were fine. I did really well at. And then I think it got to winter, couldn't do it. So I joined a classes type thing. It wasn't a gym, but a Jessie classes. But I was doing sort of 3 or 4 a week because I was feeling, well, I did quite a lot of varied stuff in the boot camp. And I was doing it with a friend, so she was kind of going, I'm doing this class. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll do that class. So I was doing step, I was doing Zumba, I was doing all these sorts of things. And one night coming home, I had the biggest panic attack you could possibly imagine that I hadn't had for a while. I was fit. I was actually fit. Now I can't walk to the end of the house without getting tired out. But I was fit, so it wasn't necessarily a case of panicking about whatever. And at first I was like, oh my God, the panic's back, and oh my God. But now when I look at it, that was my body's way of saying, Julia, you don't need to be exercising 3 to 4 times a week. It's too much for you. Don't do it. Walk the dogs to the beach. You know what I mean? Don't be doing these full-on classes. So I stopped. Don't get me wrong, I've gone to the extreme and now I don't do anything. But it's listening to those things, because like I said, for ages I was like, oh my God, now I can't exercise because the panic has decided to attach to that rather than this and whatever. But it was literally my body's inner guidance that I chose not to listen to until it got to the extreme, that just said, you know what? Yeah, we'll make you panic every time you exercise because your body doesn't want it, it doesn't need it, and you've got to stop. Yeah. So it stopped me. So that's an everyday thing. It's the same as, you know, taking your kids out. If a child is really pushing against you or whatever, stop, sit with it, say why. Why is that happening? What do I need to necessarily tweak in my parenting? That because every child is different. You can't do the same thing for one child as you do for another. Right. So sit with it and go, okay, why are they pushing against me? Why is this coming up? So that then you can go, okay, actually I just need to tweak this a little bit, whether it's using your intuition or just using your brain. Intuition is probably better because your brain doesn't always tell you the right answer.
No, it's not logic.
But it'll tell you something. Yeah. If you're pushing against resistance, and don't get me wrong, a bit of resistance is good, you know.
Healthy resistance
and pushing your boundaries and stepping up a little bit is good, and it's going to bring anxiety. It's going to bring, oh, holy crap. But a little bit of that's good. But if it's really giving you like a bit of a, oh, I feel so overwhelmed and I just, oh my God, I want to do this, but oh my God, it's not the right time. It's just not the right time. Take a step back and go, okay, yes, that's my end goal, but what are the little things that I can do to enjoy, to get my confidence up? It doesn't have to be anything to do with your end goal. You know what I mean? I started pulling a card and just showing it. I didn't even use my intuition. I tried mediumship. And again, don't get me wrong, I can do it all. But they were my stepping stones to getting my confidence, to getting my belief, to getting my connections in place. I don't do any of that now. Most of my work is angel work. And don't get me wrong, I might incorporate other things in. But my core work is angel work. And that's because that's my magic spot. That's, you know,
excuse me.
Palmina is tarot. Don't get me wrong, I could lay out tarot cards and probably give you a little bit. She's teaching me, but I ain't no tarot reader. You know what I mean? Like,
I ain't no angel queen.
I enjoy it. I learn from her, and don't get me wrong, eventually I might put in my group and practice doing tarot reading, but I enjoy it. I like learning from it, but that's not what I am. So again, it's finding those things that you enjoy and you want to learn. It doesn't have to have, tarot reading's got nothing to do with my end game. I know all of my stuff is pretty much going to be angel work, other realms, whatever they want to show me, because they don't show me everything. And I'm fine with that. I don't have to know where I'm going to be. I don't need to know that I'm going to be the next Doreen Virtue or the next Oprah or
whatever.
I don't even know a world-renowned tarot reader. This will be the first one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I just am enjoying going, oh, I want to do a fairy course, even though I'm probably not ever going to, although I have been seeing them lately, but they're not going to probably be in my repertoire of skills, but I want to do it.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's not the right time because, Palmina's talking to her.
She's got to be concentrating on lots of other stuff. But it's exactly that. And I suppose the other thing we're also trying to get at is, to hone in your skills in those, 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 things that you want to concentrate on, instead of, keep that list of 5 million, up on a whiteboard or whatever it is for you. It doesn't mean you're not going to do that. Like the fairy course, she's definitely going to do it, but it's just not right at this time. It's not a priority, you know what I mean? It's just something enjoyable that Adiabella's thinking of doing at some point. So you've got to separate those things and go, you know what do I want to be doing that's going to, be either a business or, because that's what we're in excuse me, that's what we're in the game of. And what are the things that are fun and enjoyable, and your crafty stuff that you want to do outside of your work stuff that just makes you fun and happy on your weekends or your free time. So, but when you're honing in on that, do the things like we've done. We're in a spiritual group. We have a spiritual coach. We, whether you do that once a week, once a fortnight, once a month, whatever. These are people that are helping you develop your skills. Whether you go to spiritual circles to, just further develop your intuition, stretching your intuition. And they do, little games and stuff that help you develop that area. They might do, some card readings, pull one card and just zone in on how you're feeling about that particular card and that sort of thing. Again, it's all just stretching, your intuition and your gut instincts and stuff like that. But they're things that you're doing on the side to really help you
later down the track.
Yeah, to help you later down the track. But it's not stuff that you're running off to go, I'm going to go do this course because all of a sudden now that I've just started that course, I'm going to now start doing it on my page, or that sort of thing. You've got to know what you're talking about in order to do that. And we have spent time, and like so many others and whatever, developing and learning and honing in on those skills. And, through doing these, the counselling, the coaching, the, being in these groups that, which is fantastic. If you can get into a group, it's amazing because you can do all this without being judged, pull cards for each other or do mediumship or, do your angel healings, that sort of stuff. And then you can, through that, you'll find what it is that your passion is, or what it is that, the path that you want to take at that particular time, instead of running out there going, oh my God, I'm going to do all these things, It's all well and good to touch on those here and there, but go to your spiritual circles and stuff and go have fun and just enjoy those. And then slowly you'll come onto that path, and then that path eventually will start opening up for you if that's what it needs to do. So again, allow. So come back into that zone, balance yourself, and do you want to add anything else before we finish off?
I think it's good to note as well that all of these little activities like pulling cards or intuition and stuff, it's getting you in touch with your own intuition, your soul guide, and any other guides that are there, because anything that you're going to be doing, you're going to need them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not just as simple as saying, don't get me wrong, you don't need to know their names, although, it can be handy. I prefer being able to say,
I like knowing mine.
Kit or Mary, or there's a lot there, but I prefer being able to say, Kit, help me out with there, or I know Pip will help me with my tarot stuff as well as Palmina. So doing all of those little things really helps you to fine-tune that connection with your guides so that you're using them effectively, you're using them correctly, they know how to start helping you. Because it's the same thing. Yeah, they know that they're going to be here to help you with tarot reading, for instance. But it's getting that skill, it's getting that ritual down to say, Pip, how do you want to wet this? There might be a totally different ritual that someone hasn't even told you that she thinks you should use, and you can do that, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, some may not have that connection where they can have that conversation with their guides, but it's calling them in and using them, because that big goal that you have, you need them. They're your little spiritual pit crew. You need them. If you think that you can get away with not doing all these small little parts to get to know them and get to know yourself, you're dreaming.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're dreaming.
Totally agree. I think we're going to leave it there. So you keep dreaming if that's what you want to do. But yeah, definitely be calling in and your guides, and definitely be doing the homework.
Yeah,
that's required to get you to where you need to get to. So we're going to leave it there. Until next week.
Sorry, all I've done in my head, you're dreaming.
Yeah, dreaming. But dream big.
Dream big. There's no problems with dreaming big, but just
get there, climb that ladder.
Plod along like a tortoise rather than the hare.
Yeah.
Darting here and there and going, oh, look at that, and oh, look at that. Just plod along.
Yeah. All right, we're going to give you kisses and go. Mwah, love yous.